Yo, what is up guys? So we're here to talk about Metaphys over here. It's a new archetype. It just came out here in the TCG from the latest set Circuit Break during the sneak peek that just took place this weekend. The Circuit Break set will be launching on the 19th of this month. But anyways, this is an archetype that doesn't have too much coverage, and I wanted to talk a little bit about it. Show you guys the Wombo combo in the deck, which is basically utilizing this card called Grinder Golem, which is already seeing an increase in play. Heck, this card is actually pretty pricey now. If you guys have some of these, they are actually worth some money now because they're actually used in a lot of different link decks. The reason why is because you can summon Grinder Golem to your opponent's field, but you get 2 tokens and you use those tokens as link material. So basically, you guys can actually bounce back Grinder Golem and get extra Grinder Golem tokens later on. Now, this deck doesn't utilize the bouncing effect of anything to get back Grinder Golem, but basically with Inferno Tempest, it makes the Metaphys archetype just insane. This is like what gives them the huge edge. It's almost like a win condition on its own for the Metaphys archetype. But briefly to sum up the Metaphys archetype, it's all about banishing. So I would say at its core, it's oriented itself around being an anti-meta deck that can also play around anti-meta-ish cards. Now at this point, the guy can't really do something about this. Heck, a lot of people are running this card Struggling Battle, which we will get into. I'll go briefly over the effects in just a second. I just want to showcase off some replays so you guys can see how the deck kind of performs in action right now, and who knows, maybe it'll get some support later on. And if you guys are wondering, is this deck going to be meta? I don't really think so. I think that it's just more so a fun deck. It's got some new mechanics, so I like it. But if they don't get any more like crazy support later down the line, I don't think this deck, again, can have a chance against some decks. Now, we do have a duel against Spirals, but the Spiral guy, well, I won't spoil it for you guys. We'll just get into that replay once we get into it. And also, we'll be giving you guys a deck profile. I want to say this is a really hype deck, and what I mean by that is there's crazy combos in like Inferno Tempest plus having Soul Absorption. I mean, look at it. He's at 30,000 life points within the first few turns of the duel, and obviously that's pretty good. You guys can see he activated Soul Strike, but it doesn't really matter because he's got so many cards, and even though this card has more attack, this card gets rid of all of these special summon monsters on the field. It's a really insane effect. Like, this guy has got an amazing effect. We'll go over all the effects in a second, but just because you're able to just get so much advantage, again, with the Soul Absorption, I don't know if I would consider that like a great card in the deck. Because I want to say it's one of those win harder cards. If you're able to activate Inferno Tempest, usually you've just won anyways, because the Metaphys archetype is all about banishing stuff. Whether it's banishing your opponent's stuff or banishing your own cards to later then get an effect during the standby phase. You can put them back to special summon, you can put them back to search out a card. That's basically what the archetype does. And like I said, I'll kind of go more in depth about what the whole archetype can do. Now, we're facing off against the FAs, one of the newer exclusive archetypes that I would say, again, it's kind of an anti-meta deck too, because they can have a Macrocosmos effect as well. However, that doesn't really hurt this deck. Heck, this would actually help the deck once they gain the card effect. Like Hang on Lock has an effect where if it's 7 or higher, any card sent to your opponent's graveyard is banished instead. That, again, that actually helps the Metaphys archetype, because even though he can hit for a lot of attack, Inferno Tempest is there to give him the prank, man, and he's just going to go ahead and send his entire deck to the banish zone, and Necroface is going to get the effect. And then on top of that, he's going to be able to get all the Metaphys effects. Now, like I said, the whole deck is about bringing your cards usually back to the deck. You shuffle it back into the deck, and then you get to either search or special summon or gain some type of effect. Now you guys can see he's able to search. They also have, some of them have bonus effects if they were special summoned by a Metaphys monster, like the Tyrant Dragon over here, which is the card that has 2900 attack, which I believe is their strongest one as of right now. But if this card is special summoned by the effect of a Metaphys monster, you can banish all other face-up special summon monsters on the field. That is like one of their crazier cards. Wait, actually, hold on. I'm sorry. It moused over Daedalus. Okay, Daedalus has the effect to banish. Okay, because the reason why, guys, is because the card's activating its effect, and it changed what I was reading over there. Okay, Tyrant Dragon has the effect where it's immune to trap cards if it was special summoned by Metaphys, and then if it attacks a monster, it can make it a second attack. All right, and then during the standby phase, if this card was banished the last turn, you shuffle it into the deck and you special summon one from the hand. All right, that's Tyrant Dragon. Okay, sorry, I apologize. It moused over like it changed the card right in the middle of me reading it. Now, Daedalus, this is the guy. This is the boss monster, I would say, in the deck. Even though this guy has the most attack, this is really the card that you want to be busting out. So once it's special summoned by the effect of a Metaphys monster, you can banish all other face-up special summon monsters on the field, and then during the standby phase, if it was banished the last turn, you can shuffle this card in the deck, then banish a Metaphys card from your deck. So this will basically let you get out like another effect later down the line. Again, it's a little bit slower over here. Here we're going to be seeing it face off against Spirals. Now, I do want to say the Spiral player didn't actually go for like one of the broken turn 1 play. However, he was able to make a kind of a comeback-ish. You guys will see it in the play. But like I said, yeah, he just didn't open up with like the Wombo combo over here. He did have Machine Dupe, but he needed some of like the last resorts. Yeah, I mean, Spirals is a pretty consistent deck at the end of the day, but he just didn't happen to open up with it. But we can see the Soul Absorption over here. He's going to go ahead and stall his opponent with the new number 41 Bagusuka. I believe it's his TCG name. We'll just call him number 41 just for short because the name is super long. But anyways, this card is kind of like the go-to rank 4 monster in the deck. Now, interesting thing is, if you guys didn't know, Link monsters cannot change their battle positions in the... They just can't change the battle position. That would be pretty interesting because then the zones would actually kind of swap. I thought that would have been a cool mechanic. But anyways, yeah, you cannot actually flip them. I believe the rule is you cannot flip them face down and they can't change their position. So that's actually a good way to kind of counter number 41. He kind of utilized too many cards. Like, he had to use too many cards to get rid of that Bagusuka or number 41. It's just... It's the kind of the go-to rank 4 monster if you want to stun your opponent as of right now. But I felt like he just kind of utilized too many cards to finally get over this card. And at the end of the day, you guys already will see what's going to happen. But anyways, he summons Drone over here. He's going to go ahead and make the World Chalice Shrine Maiden or the Chalice Priestess. But anyways, he's going to go ahead and go for the Super Agent. And he's going to go ahead and actually get rid of Soul Absorption and get some damage in over here. And... it's going to be the Metaphys player's turn. He's going to shuffle that back into the deck and then go ahead and add one. And he's going to go ahead and activate the Metaphys Asymmetry. I know it has a different name on the top, but it's just the TCG name did get changed from its original form. But this card, it's so good. It just, if you can summon this against Spirals when they go off, it would be the same result. Now, more than likely, its effect would be getting negated. However, let's say you protect this card somehow with an effect, you'd be banishing a lot of cards for a lot of different decks. You summon this card, they just quit on you. So, like I said again, I think this guy, he just realized I done goofed over here. He just didn't really know what to make, and I think that's kind of maybe why he just GG'd over here. But next up, we got the Subterror duel over here. I just wanted to give you guys some variety games, and one of them is actually pretty pranked, which is the last video after this one. You'll see. I won't spoil it for you guys, and I'll give you guys a deck profile for any of you guys that are interested in playing the deck. Now, shouts to I'm Back for sending me in these replays because no one's really talking about it. I had a few requests for me to showcase off the deck. I didn't see anything new, but I'm Back showed me the Grindor Golem thing, and I thought that was really cool. It was unique. It's something I have not seen a player utilize, but it's just so much extra advantage for the deck. But let me know, guys, if you guys think that the deck is any good. Like I said, I think the deck, it has a really good combo with, the Daedalus is just inherently a great, fantastic card. Also with Inferno Tempest, it's great. But as a whole versus, what we have in the game, it just doesn't seem to be as fast. I know you could maybe get a turn 2, Inferno Tempest, and you can get a huge advantage. But you're going to have to wait until that next standby phase. And at that point, you just might lose the game. And that's just, something inherently with Yu-Gi-Oh! That is, that you just can't really wait that one turn. You need your monster effects, it's my money and I want it now. Like, you got to get your effects in really fast here. So he goes ahead and special summons some Subterror. He's going to go ahead and attack over Daedalus over here. But going back to this one, I wanted to say that what's interesting with the Metaphys archetype is this is, again, one of their most boss monsters. However, this only banishes face-up special summon monsters, so I was thinking maybe Subterror, like in the random chance that, this deck becomes meta. I mean, Subterrors would have a great matchup because most of the time Subterrors are going to be flipping themselves face down. And they have an AM monster that you can normal summon. Most of the monsters are like pretty good beat sticks. However, the Metaphys Ragnarok over here, this is like I believe one of the only cards. We'll get into the deck profile later on. But this is like, as far as I'm aware, this is like the only card that you can just like summon normally. Anyway, so if this card is normal or special, you get to banish 3 cards from the top of your deck, and if you do, it gains 300 attack for each Metaphys card banished by this effect. So it can potentially be like an okay beater. Oh gosh, it just did the thing again where the mouse. We'll go into the effect later on, but it gains up to extra 900 attack, which can be a little bit nice just for like a small card in the very beginning. But I feel like that mechanic is just so outdated. Like, you know, the card trooper, oh, get 1900 attack. Like, it's just not good enough. You need to be able to stun, and obviously that card does not stun. It lets you potentially next turn, if you get lucky and you banish the right cards with its effects, yeah, you might be able to get a bonus. But I really like this card with Honest, okay, because it has another bonus effect where where is it? When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can special one level 5 or higher Metaphys monster from your deck, but you banish it during the end phase. So that has the effect where, you know, it comes out, you can banish all face-up special monsters, and then on top of that, that monster is going to be banished, so later on you'll get a bonus effect. I would say that's one of like the greatest parts about the deck. Like when you get the Honest, which is a card I could actually recommend in the deck. I don't think Honest is like the most meta of cards, because a lot of times people's boards that are made in Yu-Gi-Oh right now, it's so insane that like it's just like when you have to wait to the battle phase, your opponent's probably going to bounce back the card. You know, you guys know how it goes these days with the Yu-Gi-Oh. Everything again is super fast. But this duel over here is kind of a prank because both players are actually both running Necrophase, so that's going to actually trigger Necrophase's effect from both players. Now, unfortunately, he did draw into one of them, so it's not going to be Inferno Tempest. But look at all of those chains. We got Giant Rex. Look at all of those chains, and he even has a Dot Scrapper over here. Pretty funny stuff indeed. So if this card was sent to the graveyard, you can special summon it. If it is banished, you can special summon it as well. So that was pretty interesting. The guy was playing some type of a cheese deck as well. I don't know why you throw dinosaurs in here, but I don't even know what the other guy's deck is, honestly. It looked like zombies, but it was running some really interesting tech. I mean, we could make a video just on his interesting deck, because I like innovative stuff. And what's funny with this is Giant Rex is going to be coming back, man. But really cool card, though. But we now see the Daedalus summoned over here. And like I said, this card is just fantastic against most of the decks. That's if you can get it out, and that's again the main problem that I have with the deck. I think if it was banished and there was special summon immediately, then it might be just a little bit too good. And then we see the struggling battle. Oh, okay, I forgot what it's called. Is it endless battle struggle? I don't know. They changed the name of the TCG just as a heads up if you guys are looking for it. Apparently it's still called Struggling Battle in Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro 2, but I'm sure they'll update that very soon. But anyways, yeah, this card, it's seeing so much play. I've seen so many people talk about this card. I think it's good. I mean, that's just my personal take on it. I mean, it has that instant, like, I win the game if I activate it at the right time. But we see a Necrophase normal summon over here, and it's going to reset all those banished cards. They're going to be put all the way back, and it won't hurt you because, again, you're going to actually activate your effects during the standby phase, so obviously you're going to get all your Metaphys effects. But Necrophase over here with 8,200 attack, that's enough to one-shot somebody over here. We see Unizombie being summoned. Mind Control, snatch stealing that card away, and he's going to be making an Omega, actually hitting the Metaphys card, which is not actually what you want to do in Metaphys, because they're going to actually trigger the Metaphys effects, which will then, you know, get some type of bonus effect. This card over here lets you special summon a Metaphys from your hand, but it gets banished during the end phase. But it doesn't matter because we got Daedalus. Daedalus is going to be bringing out the banish everything on field. I mean, that's all you really need to see. Like, that's the power play in the deck. It's that and Inferno Tempest. I really like it when you Daedalus and you hit. I mean, they honestly have 3 really, like, I would say almost like win conditions in the deck that are, like I said, they're easy to pull off, but like they're just too slow, and that's the main problem. Because with the Honest, you gotta wait for that. With the Inferno Tempest, you gotta give your opponent a monster, you have to attack, make sure everything goes through, and again, like sometimes you can open up with a little bit of bad hands. But now that you guys have seen the deck in action, let me go ahead and give you guys the deck profile for those of you guys that want to test it out, and let me know your thoughts on this build, courtesy of the guy that sent it in. I wanted to talk about this card real quick. He's only playing 1 copy of it. I feel like this is a win hard card, like win harder card. Like if you've already got, you know, the effect of Inferno Tempest, I mean, yeah, you're going to be taking 3,000 or more battle damage, but at that point, you probably have won the game anyways. But I can, like I said, I can recommend Honest. I still think Grinder Golden is great. Heck, you can definitely utilize your extra deck a little bit more, perhaps. I was thinking about this card. What is it? Plain Scout. Oh, is it one word? There's not that many playing cards, is there? Oh, here it is. So, okay, let me mouse over. So, DD Scout Plane says, once per turn, during the end phase, if this card is currently banished and was banished this turn, you get to spell summon it in face-up attack position. Now, there is some downsides. Obviously, during the end phase, it does get summoned in attack position, which can be kind of bad. However, if someone gets like a monster with a lot of attack, like 3,800 plus, you could technically use this against them, but I was thinking that like you can maybe use some other cards that would revolve around the banish effect. There's also there's a much better card. It's some okay. Topping a warrior is probably a bad idea, but I could find. Let me find this card for you guys real quick. It's a dark. This dark warrior. Warrior. Okay, let me see if I can find it. There's only 13. Oh gosh. Is it? It's not warrior returning alive. I don't know. It's survivor. That's what it was called. Okay, here's the card. During the end phase, if this card was banished while face up on your side of the field, you can special summon this. But that's the card I was looking for. Okay. This is the fact that I was looking for. DD Survivor could technically be used in the deck because you're going to be banishing all your stuff anyways. I thought it could be an okay card. The only downside with this is it does not work with Inferno Tempest, but it could just be a card that you can get back over and over. So I think that would be kind of cool. In certain builds. If you guys want to try it out, let me know how it goes. But I just wanted to mention, not Scout Plane. Don't get Scout Plane. I was thinking it was that card. They're both really old cards. It's that old school Yu-Gi-Oh knowledge. But anyways, let's get into the deck profile for those of you guys that want to try it out. Like I said, I feel like this card might be like a win harder card. But let's get into it. So we've got 3 copies of Grinding Golem, 3 copies of Metaphys Tyrant Dragon, 3 copies of Nephthys over here. So I didn't really get to talk about this card very much, but anyways, when special summoned by the effect of a Metaphys monster, you can banish all set spell and traps on the field. And then once per turn during the standby phase, if this card was banished the last turn, you can shuffle this banished card into the deck to add a Metaphys card from your deck to your hand, except for Metaphys itself and Metaphysical Regeneration. But yeah, so this one gets rid of the spell and traps. This one means this one's immune to traps, and then it can attack twice. And then this is like the boss monster again in the deck. And then we have the Fairytale Snow, so you can banish them. And then we have 2 copies of Necroface, 2 copies of Summoner Monk, 3 copies of Ragnarok, which is the normal card. It's the card that you can normal summon. Then we have 2 copies of Soul Release, 2 copies of Goldsark, 2 copies of Twin Twister, 3 copies of Inferno Tempest. And then we have, did I say Inferno Reckless Summon before? Okay, I meant Inferno Tempest if I said that. But anyways, Dimension Fisher, then we got 2 copies of the Metaphys Asymmetry. That's again the name. I know it looks different on the top, but that's because TCG, OCG. But anyways, it lets you just banish a Metaphys card from your hand, except for itself, and then except for Metaphysical Regeneration. If you do draw a card, then once per turn, if a Metaphys card in possession is banished, except for Metaphysical Regeneration, you apply the effect depending on whose turn it is. So if it says your turn, all monsters on the field lose 500 attack and defense except for Metaphys monster, even if this card leaves the field. And then the other effect is if it's during your opponent's turn, you change the battle position of all monsters on the field except for Metaphys monster. So it kind of can protect you, especially if you're going for like this kind of a play where you're very vulnerable potentially after you've already taken a bunch of damage. You can kind of help out. And then we have the Metaphys Factor. So this one, playing 2 copies of it, and it says each turn 1 level 5 or higher Metaphys monster you normal summon can be summoned without tributing, so it can kind of help you out with some of the larger monsters. And then on top of that, but if you use this effect, you banish the monster during the end phase, even if this card leaves the field. And then also your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to the activation of your Metaphys monster effect. So again, once this card is summoned, it's going to be activating its effect, and your opponent cannot respond to it. So again, that can really help out against those matchups like spirals or just any of these crazier things that just can go for like a turn 1 like I've won board, you know. So I really like this for that like instant kind of like comeback instantly. But I just feel like the only thing that the deck is lacking is a little bit of speed. If the deck had a few other search cards, like a card that you can discard, you would like maybe if they made a card where it's like you can just send it from your hand and just banish the card from your hand to just search out like another like Metaphys card, like the deck would be insane. Again, I really feel like this card is so good. Obviously you can play Terraforming, but the main problem is you need Daedalus' effect like turn 1 sometimes, and that's what I hate with the deck, is because your opponent makes a turn 1 board, you're like, hold on, give me one turn, turn, I'll destroy you, but you ain't gonna get that one turn. Anyways, yeah, that's that card. And then we have Waterfall or Dragon Soul, so this lets you add a worm type monster from your deck to your hand. Again, it's just too slow. These happen to all be worms, but yeah, it's just a little bit too slow. And then you can send also a worm type monster from your hand and or face up from your field of the grave to draw cards equal to the number of monsters you sent to your +1. So it's kind of nice for that. Although you don't really want something to grave, you want them banished. But Macrocosmos will help you out with that. We're playing 1 of each because you gotta make the anti-meta cards at 1. And then next up we have the Metaphys Dimension, which I don't believe we talked about it. But anyways, when your opponent would special summon a monster, except for during the damage step, you can target one of your banished monsters and special summon it, but it's banished during the end phase. Again, I know this card could technically help out with the whole effect of I was talking about being slow, but this is another slow card. If it was a quick play, then we're looking at something much better. Also, this has to be special summoned by the effect of a monster. So again, it's just so close to being good, like I mentioned before. But anyways, yeah, it banishes during the end phase. And then if another Metaphys card in your possession is banished while this card is face up on the field, except for metaphysical regeneration, it's kind of like the Frog the Jam of the deck. But anyways, you target one of your opponent's cards and banish it. So yeah, it has a little good effect. For the extra deck, there's basically, I would say, like the only really important cards. Where's the tuner at for this? This card is also a tuner. That's something real quick I want to mention. I would say, obviously, you should probably play 8 cards. Or not 8 cards. Extra cards to fill up the slots that we have over here. But we got the number 38. You got the Utopia lineup. I think the most important cards right now, like this card is just so important. This card can actually be pretty good too. But as far as the extra deck, the only card that I really feel like they can like open up the door for some like crazier plays, obviously Utopia is very good. I think a lot of these are just like staples in general, and the off chance, Cowboys could use. I would say this is a deck that has a lot of room. So if you want to, you can maybe drop some of these cards, and then you can throw in things that would hurt other decks, like some of these Spiral cards. You can play them just for the side deck if you wanted to run like Ghost Reaper and stuff like that, because that has been pretty popular in the OCG. But anyways, that's my video for the Metaphys, and shoutouts to you for figuring out the combo with Inferno Tempest. I think it's a really decent little combo over there, but I feel like the archetype, it's like 1 turn short of actually being good. But you guys can let me know your thoughts. I was actually thinking, like, honestly, I'm not even kidding, he's running cards like Swift Scarecrow, but unfortunately, like, I was actually talking to someone in the OCG with this. I was like, if you guys didn't know, Spirals are like basically all like the rage, right? So the one problem with that though is they have kind of swapped up the builds, but Alkashish Magician. There's a card that like, or is it Trigate Wizard? Trigate Wizard. Okay, this card, like, it's once per turn when a card effect is activated, you can negate it. This was the original problem, but people have dropped that, so I don't know. If you guys want to like get that extra turn that you need with the deck, maybe you guys can try it out. You can Battle Fader would get another banished card, so you can get extra cards banished for some of the proc effects, and on top of that, you can Allure Darkness. I don't know, I'm just thinking for extra ideas that if you guys wanted to do that, because Trigate Wizard, I would say in most builds, has not seen as much play. Like, I'm not sure if people still will be playing on the TCG, but I just remember that this was an original problem to prevent yourself from getting OTKs. Just this card negates anything. I mean, heck, the Spiral turn 1 plays are insane, but if you can get it, if you can survive that 1 turn, and also get the effect off. But remember, this makes it so your opponent can't activate cards or effects in response to the activation of Metaphys monster effect. But again, it's got to be banished by a Metaphys card, or just Metaphys. It's just got to be banished, or I'm sorry, special summoned by the effect of Metaphys monster to get it, so you can't get it with some of the other cards that I wish you could. But that's Metaphys, guys. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching, guys, and if you enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button to see more new Yu-Gi-Oh decks in action.